This is episode number 47 at the BS Machine. Welcome back, guys. Another episode coming at you from the study, from the living room of Tommy Kendi. I'm your host, and on this episode, on this mighty fine episode, we are talking about how to achieve a true vision or a true goal or a true end result. It's a big one, especially for me. It's a big one to talk about for me because for me personally, to be honest, this is something that I quite often struggle with, and this is something that I've been struggling with for quite a while. And it's not just it's just literally been at the last, I don't know, maybe last 4 or 5 years where I've really been able to learn these tools where I'm starting to achieve all the things that I want for myself, and it's fucking cool because one of the key things that I've learned about through this process, and well, I guess through this process of life, is that usually things come in a way where you least expect it. And so one of the key ways that I go into I guess listing my goals or my visions and going into the true end result of what I want to achieve. What I mean by the true end result and the true vision and the true end result is that it doesn't always mean it doesn't always mean the amount of money you have in the bank. It doesn't always mean the car that you drive. I mean, those things are all great. And I think where most people really fuck up is that they go into this whole thing of, unless I have $1 million or unless I'm earning $1 million or 100 grand or 50 grand or whatever it might be for you, then you feel like you haven't achieved your goal. But for me, to be honest, it goes way deeper than that. And so what I do in these processes where I go into creating my visions and my choices and creating my goals is that it's so important. There's two key areas which I think are really, really important. Is one is to find the true end result or the true vision. And by the true vision, as I said before, what that means is, what is it that those things are going to create? So, let's say if you do have $1 million in the bank or whatever, 10 million, a million, 100 grand, 50 grand, whatever it is, whatever your goal is, then how, like, that's on the surface, but underneath it, how is that going to make you feel? Like, what's going to be happening behind that? And usually when it comes to money, what's happening behind that is freedom, isn't it? Because money, well, what most people think that money brings them freedom, and yeah, it does. I mean, I've experienced stages in my life where I'm making a shit ton of money, and it brings freedom because you can go on holidays, you can buy cool shit, but then once you buy those things, you sort of start to realize that there's something deeper going on. There's something beneath the surface that really needs to get tickled and needs to be brought up, doesn't it? So I think the first port of call, if you're listening to this podcast and listening to the wisdom that I am bringing through to you, then what the first thing would be is to see if you can come on this journey with me in this podcast and get a little bit deeper. And I would also encourage you, if you haven't got it already, is to grab a piece of paper and a pen, and if you do that, then it will help you along the way. And so you're listening to my voice, all that type of stuff. But if you know how I just said, go grab a piece of paper and a pen, and you're like, I won't be doing that. You know what? How about if you just push pause on this podcast right now, and you actually went and got a paper and pen? How fucking weird would that be? Because then you would actually have a pen and paper right in front of you. And even if you have done your goals, have done your vision, you know what? Maybe that in this next half hour, you're going to learn something new. So what about if you just come on this journey with me? So either push pause on this podcast or listen to me sing a something. Just something like ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh. And if you're driving, then maybe listen to this later when you do have a paper and pen. Ooh, ah, ooh. Have you got your paper and pen yet? Ah, ooh, ah, ooh. How annoying am I? Just one more round. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh. Have you got your piece of paper and your pen? What? You actually got it? Holy shit balls. We're about to have some fun. So you've got your paper and pen, and I'm taking you through a very cool process that I do each and every year, and it's so fucking cool. And I'm going to teach you. I just literally did this morning, and that's why I'm doing this podcast, because you'll be surprised how much magic this brings forth. Okay, so what we're going to do is on this piece of paper and pen that you have with you, don't do anything about it yet. I'm just going to talk you through a few things that I mentioned earlier, but expand on those things. So, when we talk about goals and when we talk about visions, what we're actually talking about is the truth behind those things. And what usually happens, which I've talked about in other podcasts, previous Bullshit Machine podcasts, is that usually what we're focused on, what we think we're focused on, is actually not what we're focused on. Example, really simple example, and money is a simple one. If you're sitting there going, I want more money because I don't have enough of it, then what you're actually focused on is not having enough money. And same thing, if you're sitting there going, I want $1 million, the focus is actually in the lack, isn't it? Because you're focusing on what you don't have. So a really cool thing that we're going to move through this morning or this afternoon or whatever time you're listening is to be able to really get underneath what's really going on. Yeah. So to start with, when we say, the true end result, we're coming back to that, the actual truth of what we want. And so we are going to go through a little process right now, and you will follow me along in the process and get excited that you might actually learn something new. So as you are sitting, standing, whatever the fuck you're doing, or lying down, I would like you to slowly close your eyes. And by closing your eyes, I mean actually closing your eyes. So you've got two eyelids, actually close them over. And yeah, there you go. You've got your eyelids closed because you're trusting that this process is going to give you something that you don't already have or that you've forgotten about. So with the eyes closed, just imagine for a second that you look up, but with your eyes closed. Just imagine that in the top right corner of wherever you're sitting, whether it's in the top right corner of your room or top right corner of the sky or wherever you are, just imagine the top right corner there, you're going to draw a big circle. And in that circle is you, and you put yourself into this circle, but in that circle, it's like this vibration, this energy vibration. This circle has a energy and a vibration of you already standing and sitting in your fairy tale life. It's you in your endless, limitless, incredible life, and you're standing in this version or this energy of you just being in your absolute greatness, isn't it? It's your fairy tale life where you are limitless. And all I'd like you to do is just tune into that circle, into that energy circle, and you do see it, and things will sort of pop up out to you, like you'll see certain visions. And I just want you to just, for the next literally 15-20 seconds, just see what you see in that circle. What do you see? How does your face look? How do you feel in that circle, in that energy circle where you're in your fairy tale life? How do you feel? How does your face look? How are you? How do you look? How do you look? What's happening in that circle? You're killing it at life. What are you actually doing? What's bringing you happiness? What are the visions that are coming out at you? And just quickly, before we do this, if you want to push stop on this podcast right now, please don't do it. Tune back into that circle. This is fucking important, guys. Like, come with me. This is such an epic process. Please stay with me. What do you see in that circle? How do you envision yourself in your fairy tale life? It's like you're standing in this energy of your total greatness. And what I'd like you to do now is simply write down the things that you see. It could and just be mindful, you're not writing I'm not poor, I'm not unhappy, I'm not this, I'm not that. So there's no words, right? It's all about I am this, I have achieved, or I achieve this. It's like present moment, but you're looking down out in the future. So just write down maybe 5 things. It's like I achieve, I feel, I look, I have, I this. Just 5 or 6 things. Write them down right now. I'll wait. I'm still here. Oh, wait. There's nowhere to go. You're just simply writing down a number. And you could even push pause on the podcast until you write 5 things down that you see. Just 5 things down that you see in that vision, in that circle of your limitless life. You're in your fucking greatness, and be powerful, and just come with me and write this down. Push pause. And once you push pause, all right, welcome back. So you've got your 5 things now that you saw in that vision. Maybe you've got more. Maybe you've got 10 things, yeah? And so you can really see, you've written it out, what's going on there. And as you've written them out, just read them back. For example, I'll tell you some of mine that I had this morning. So in my vision, what I saw, I'm just going to read it out to you now. And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see my red journal popping up there. But basically what I in my vision this morning, I just did a couple of things. It was basically, I'm absolutely killing it. I'm loving my confidence about how I'm helping the world. I'm making money by bettering others' lives. I have online courses that are absolutely pumping and people are loving my content. And I've got a wait list of people wanting to work with me. That was my vision that I sort of tuned. And I do this on a daily basis, so I'm just sharing with you what I got this morning. And in that circle, in that energy circle for me, it was like I just looking in the mirror and I'm going, fucking hell, like I am killing it, man. Like I feel great. I'm serving the community. I'm expressing my true and authentic nature to the world, and I'm fucking loving it. Yeah, and you can even steal some of those words from me, and because they sort of ring true, but my authenticity is going to be different to yours, isn't it? So I just write a few things down. So if you want me to read these out again, I'm absolutely killing it. I'm absolutely I'm loving my confidence about who I am and what I do. I'm making money by bettering others' lives. I've got a bunch of online courses that are absolutely pumping and helping people in the world. And I have a wait list of people wanting to work with me. Yeah, that was my vision. And that was simply deriving from me wanting to sort of ignite courage and inspiration in the world. Cool. So we've got our vision and we've got that down. Now, the next part of the process is where I used to fuck it up so much is I never knew what are the things that were going to stop me, right? So I never knew when I was going for my goals and my visions. I believe it's so important that you understand your own fucked up behaviors and you understand all the things about you and your fucked up patterns, your fucked up behaviors, and all the things that are going to come in and stop you. Because if you've been listening to the BS Machine for a while, you will know that one of the key things that I harp on about fucking constantly is about the ego. And I'm constantly harping on about the ego because, as I will mention again, the ego is this part of us that is, it just wants us to stay safe, right? It needs us to be safe. It needs us to stay in this place of safety. And as soon as we go for something that we want, whatever it might be, you know, who knows what it is, whatever your fucking thing is. You know, I know what mine is. I can't read your mind unless we're doing one-on-one coaching sessions. If we're doing one-on-one coaching sessions, then I can definitely read your mind. Well, not read your mind, but I can tune into you, and some of the shit I get is so fucking good. And I'm not like big noting myself, but fuck, man, some of the shit I get about people in my one-on-ones is so powerful, and I'm standing behind that because I know I'm unbelievable at what I do. But how was that? It was a bit fucking arrogant, wasn't it? But you know what? If you're good at something, why not own it? So, where are we? So. Oh yeah, the things that are going to stop us. So that's the thing. It's so important to know the things that are going to stop us, because with the ego, that's the thing, isn't it? Is that as soon as we go for our dreams and aspirations, that's what the ego deems that to be unsafe. So it has to find a way to fuck you up, right? And we know this because you've been experiencing this. So how do we find out how the ego is going to try and stop us? And how do we find out that, right? So first off, what I would like you to do is actually don't write anything yet. Just close your eyes back down. And remember the thing with the eyes, when you close them, you have to actually like make the eyelids like touch. And that means that your eyes are closed. So please do that now. Close your eyes down. And then we've done this other vision circle, this energy circle where you had your vision. So we're going to do another energy circle. And in this energy circle it's basically called your current reality. So in this other energy circle, it's basically what you're actually experiencing now. So don't look at this from a higher perspective. Look at it from actually what's going on and what's happening. And I will tell you what mine were after you do yours, because you'll find that they might be quite similar. So in your current reality, how do you see yourself? So in this energy circle, this one that we're looking at now, you are in your current reality. How do you see that now? What do you see in there? And what is it that's actually happening in your current reality? List them down. Just list maybe 4 or 5 things. So for example, I'm fearful of taking the next step. That's just an example. That could be an example for you. So just, what's your current reality? Whether it's specific or more feelings or emotional or behaviors or patterns, please push pause on this podcast right now, and please list down the 5 or 6 things that are in your current reality, and I'll see you when you get back. All right, welcome back. So you've now listed 5 things in your current reality, right? And so I'm going to read mine out that I did this morning. These are quite vulnerable, but as you will know, I'm not too shy about sharing my shizzle with my BS Machine crew. That's one of the things I love. I love sharing where I'm at in life, and I think it's important, isn't it? Because we're all going through this shit. So basically, what was my current reality? My current reality is I don't believe that I can do what I set out to do, as in my vision, the shit that I read out before. Yeah, so I don't believe that I can do it. I'm unaware about what I'll earn each week. Sometimes I earn a lot, sometimes nothing. I don't make earning money a priority. And my current reality is that I'm blasé about my earning potential and just my potential in general. So me being blasé about it means that I don't actually do what I truly believe is right for myself, right? So that's my current reality. And when I look into that current reality, it's basically what will happen. And so yeah, you've got yours, right? You've got your 5 little steps in your current reality. But what will now happen is that as soon as you go for what you want, which is your vision, you're killing it or whatever the fuck you wrote down. And it's powerful, man, because you tuned in to this other whole epic thing in your vision, which is so powerful. And if you read that back, that's cool, right? But then what will happen as soon as you do that, the ego comes in and goes, you know what? I don't, mate, don't do that. You don't believe in yourself. Like, why would you do that? It's too fucking unsafe. Or it's or the ego will create this thing of you being uncertain or unsure, or it'll throw all these things. So anytime you go and take a step forward, as soon as you take a step forward and you're not aware of your fucked up ego, the ego is going to give you all these sentences, and the ego is going to give you all this shit, and the ego will give you all these roadblocks and conditions that need to be met before you can actually take action steps towards your vision. So all the fears, all the things, all the shit, all the conditions, it's going to give you all those things. So what happens now? You've got your current reality where you've written down all the stuff that is actually happening, the things you're feeling or the things that you're experiencing, or even the actual specific things. So, for example, if you want to have $1 million, your current reality might mean that, well, I've got $5,000 in the bank or $10,000 in the bank. Like, how the fuck? And I'm only earning, $3,000 a month or $5,000 a month. Like, how do you expect me to get to $1 million in the next 12 months? This is where the cool stuff comes in. This is the fun part. And the fun part is you're not meant to know, right? So if you've got your vision and you stand strong in your vision, there's a number of things that we need to do here, and I'll show you the next step. So basically, before we even go to the next step, one thing that you have to understand is this is not something that you can just do once and go, okay, well, I've done it once because Tommy told me to close my eyes and do it, and then I'm doing it once and then that's it. No, fuck no, man. I mean, you've got to be so consistent. It's got to be a daily thing. It's got to be a daily thing. And we'll go through this next part, which is going to give you actually some action points to do. And you'll be surprised that with the action points, they're actually, it's almost like they're no-brainers, because when you do this last little parts of the process, you're basically like, it's giving you the obvious. And this is where you can tune into this whole other ether, which is the super conscious, where basically everything is connected on all time and space. And that's not spiritual. That is not blah blah. That's not blasé and fluffy shit. That's actually true. It's like this area where we, if we use like even just 10 to 15 minutes a day to just tune the fuck in to what it is that we're meant to be taking action on that day. And this is the thing, guys. You're going to be given things in this next part of the process that don't fucking make sense. And when they don't make sense, it forces you, I think I spoke about this in the last podcast, to make, it's going to feel like you're making things up, right? It's going to feel like you're making it up on the spot, and that is what we want, because when you're making shit up on the spot, it's true, and you're not making your ego your priority. You're not making your ego the thing that you listen to. You're using your heart to be the vehicle to pull you forward. So we're not listening to the ego, we're listening to the heart. So all we're doing through this process is tapping into our heart, our soul, and what's absolutely true for us. And when we're being truthful to ourselves, it means we're being kind to ourselves, and we're honoring and being integrous and being consistent with what we know is true for us and what we know is our path forward. So the next part to the process is, it's almost like a bridging process. So bridging the two. So you've got your current reality, right, where you don't believe and you've got all the bullshit and you've got all listed down. You've got your vision, which feels fucking great, huh? Because the vision is like right there. It's like, bam, let's go. You're killing it. You're doing good shit. You're looking in the mirror. You're feeling great. and you're like, yes, like this is fucking me. I'm excited to be me, and you're killing it. You're earning big bucks, and you're helping people all around the world. Well, I'm just talking about myself. You're igniting courage, inspiration in the world, and it's just rocking. Like you're stepping into each day, and it's just things are pumping, huh? And so that's the vision. So now we're going to create a bridge between the two. So once again, the last time here, you will close your eyes down, and remember that little trick where you close your eyes down and you make the eyelids touch, where you actually are having this thing of eyes closed. So eyes are closed, and you are back into this space of goodness in the superconscious, simply because your eyes are closed. So once again, I'd like you to step back into that circle, that energy circle of your vision. Step back into that energy circle of your vision. And once you are there, you are in your vision. You're this energy circle of your vision. Yeah, you're feeling it. Like really feel it. Let that vision of you in your end result, in your goal, where it's already there, you're already living it. Like let that land in your body, in some form of emotion. Like really feel it. Sometimes I even give myself goosebumps by stepping into this energy of greatness and into this circle of greatness. Like try and give yourself goosebumps. That's how much you're feeling your vision. And then this last part of the process, you are standing in your vision and you're looking back at this other circle, or this other energy circle of you in your current reality, where it's like you don't believe in yourself and whatever else you wrote down, right? You're looking back at it. And for you today, what would be the bridge for you to get your current reality closer to your vision? What would be the bridge? What are 5 steps that you would need to take today? And they don't have to be massive, ginormous steps where it's like, all right, I'm leaving my job, or I'm moving countries, or I'm breaking up with my boyfriend, or it doesn't have to be anything like that drastic. It's just little action points you can take today that will get your current reality closer to your vision. Let's try that now. What are a few, just 4 or 5 really, really obvious steps that you could take today? I'm not talking tomorrow, today. What are 4 or 5 steps you could take today? It could be reading a book. It could be starting a podcast. It could be doing research on this clothing label that you've always wanted to start. It could be, checking in, going to yoga, starting a yoga practice, starting meditation, whatever it is. You know what it is. So let's do this again, so I'm not blabbing on. Go back into your vision. How do you look? How do you see? How do you feel? What do you look like? What are you doing? What's your fairy tale? What's your limitless process? Then look back at your current reality. And as you look back at your current reality, what are the obvious steps? What's the bridge to bring your current reality closer to your vision? Write 5 or 6 things down, please. 5 or 6 things down, and this is where you probably push pause on the podcast and then come back to me when you are ready. All right, welcome back. So you've got your bridge. You've got 5 or 6 things. I'm just going to read out what my bridge was. And this is, I did it exactly. I do this every fucking day consistently. Well, actually, that's a fucking lie, because I don't. I try and do this at least minimum chips 4 days a week. You should be doing it every day. And when I'm starting, like you're restarting the process, I am doing it every day. But otherwise, I'm committing to at least 4 days a week. So this was the bridge that I got this from my vision of where I'm killing it, loving my confidence, helping the world, all that type of stuff. My reality was I don't believe that I can do that. And in my bridge, this is what I got. Write a list of potential money makers where I'm helping others on a larger scale. Do my podcast on how to achieve a true vision goal, because then I'll teach myself. Funny enough, I'm doing the podcast on how to achieve a true vision, true goal. Another thing I got, which was interesting, is put 2 grand into this, which I literally just came to me. It says put 2 grand into a stock that someone told me about the other day. So I'm just literally gonna tomorrow, as soon as the markets open up, I'm gonna put 2 grand into this stock. Another thing I got was to use my whiteboard, which I've got here, which I don't use enough. So I'm going to get some more pens and stuff for my whiteboard. And then the other thing which was interesting, which I got, was me and my girlfriend have been talking about moving in together. And for whatever reason, I got this guidance to put my notice in for this place that I'm living in now, so I can move in with my girlfriend. That scares the shit out of me, only because it's moving forward, isn't it? And the ego just jumps in and goes, "Hey, don't do that," or "Don't put 2K in," or "Don't move in," and all that type of shit. And you just go, "No, no, no, no. I'm moving with my heart here, bro. Like, this is my heart. Like, I'm fucking in. Like, let's go. Let's do this shit." So there it is. And so then the next part is you've got your bridge, right? Which is what you just did. And then once you've got your bridge, fuck man, the next part of it is the actual, this is the game changing part. Because this is all well and good, but once you get your bridge, they're basically the action points. They are the things that you must fucking do. So the last part of the process is to actually do it, like take action. Because you can do these all day long and don't do anything, and you're not going to achieve shit. You're just going to have this la life where you're sitting back going, "Oh, wasn't that a nice process?" But that's the clincher. It's like once you get the bridge and you get these action points, then you've got to actually do them, guys. Like, you've got to step in, do it. Because basically what's happening here is you and your greatness, it's giving you, like, you've just shown yourself who you are in your greatness. You're looking at your current reality, which you're living in right now, and you're going, "Hey, I know where the ego is going to give me shit. I know the ego, this is where the ego is going to fuck me over." So now you've brought the egoic structure, or the ego, to the surface, where you know that when those voices come up that go, "I'm not good enough, I don't have enough money, I don't have this, or I don't have the right people around me," it's all fucking bullshit, man. It's just absolute bullshit. It's not fucking true. They're just voices that the ego is streaming at you on demand and fucking live. It's giving it to you so that you don't move forward. So guys, we know this now. And then this last step is, one, be fucking integral to your word, please. It's the worst. I know with me, when I'm not being integral to myself and the tune and the intuition and my gut feel, and I get given the gift of tuning in and listening to my intuition, when I don't take action on it, it is a fucking crime. You have to take action, and this is what's going to take you forward. When you take little leaps of faith and you dive in and you're like, "Fuck man, this is scary, but I'm in. I'm going, I'm doing, I'm taking action because I trust my inner voice, I trust my intuition, I trust my guidance." And this is how we get to it. The key here is not the current reality, it's not the vision, it's the fucking bridge. Because the bridge is giving you these small little action points that are going to take you to exactly where you need to go. So I am so happy that I did this podcast for you, because now it's out in the ether. And if I don't take my action points every day on this, on the bridges that I get, and by the way, I'm doing this shit every day, guys, every fucking day, even though I coach this shit, and even though I speak to my clients about this shit day in, day out. And this is, look, this is a really good starter for you to get started with. If you want to dive in deeper, by all means, hit me up. Let's set up a session and get it going and whatnot. But, these are all the things that I'm killing it with my clients and whatever else. So you want to, do a thing with me actually helping you and getting your vision. Let's fucking do it, man. Like, let's go. But otherwise, you've got everything you need right now to get yourself going. And if you do this, even if you just go, you know what, this really, obviously, I did an extended version of it, but really, if you do this and you get into the groove of it, you do a current reality, you do a vision, you do the bridge, it should take you no more than 10 to 15 minutes a day. Like, that is fucking, but what a tiny amount of investment it is for you to do every fucking day, and you watch what happens. You fucking watch, yeah? And thank you for being with me on this podcast. This is it's one of those things, isn't it? You could have done this and not take action. So whatever you got in your bridge, please, 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 please fucking be integrous to your inner guidance, because the more you do this, the more the stronger this shit's going to get. The stronger your intuitive guidance will get. The more you'll go, wow, that worked last time, so maybe it'll work this time. And it's like a muscle. The intuitive guidance is like a muscle. We've got to keep using it, keep moving in, keep going into it. And that is when the party really starts. That's when the party starts. When you start getting these bridges and you're following through and you're being integrous and you're being consistent. I'm pretty sure integrous is a word. When you're being integrous and you're being consistent. Guys, thank you again. I love you. Share this podcast because it's such a powerful process that we chatted about today. So share the fuck out of it. Tell other people. You know, it's just the thing, isn't it? And you have, the same thing. YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all these different places, and I am loving your guts, and thank you, and big shout out to my epic community that keep hitting me up every week and saying, Tommy, that was such a great episode. I got so much out of it. It makes my heart tickle. Love you guys. Have an epic week, epic day, and go rock your life, because you deserve to be happy just like everyone else on this earth. Lots of love.